Oh wait, salvaged. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I was able to pick up a few of the Trish McEvoy sets from the Nordstrom anniversary sale. I hadn't tried anything from that brand in a while, and I remember really liking the Undereye. I think they call it like instant eye lift, like their concealer from the set. And then an eyeshadow palette and one of the lip kits. It's been a little while, not that I specifically didn't like the Trish McEvoy products I had tried, it's just it's a little more on the expensive side, and they are nice because they have like a skincare infused makeup kind of vibe, so I thought it would be nice during the sale to pick up a few of the value sets, and let's dive back in. Well then let's get started with that Instant Eye Lift product. This one came in a set with the Instant Eye Lift and the Eye Base, so we'll be putting some of this on. I did do a face of foundation already with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and we'll do a little bit of this. I watched the video on how they apply it. When the brand always tells you, here's your suggested uses, they draw like that big exaggerated triangle, which I don't typically do, but I mean, I should follow the instructions, right? So we'll give that a whirl, and we'll do the nice triangle and blend that all in. Just seems like so much more concealer than I ever normally use. It did blend in really nicely, and I like how it contains like a little bit of pinkish reddish tone to it to help cancel out some of the under-eye gray, or not just gray but blue. I think it did a pretty nice job with that. They did suggest you could use this under concealer if you wanted to, but I don't know that we're going quite that full glam today. So I think we'll just leave it at this, see how it goes. I will say, I think I like this a lot right underneath where I do have some darkness, but further out where I don't, there's not really anything to cancel out, so it kind of just makes my eye look a little more like sunken in, or I don't know, the shadow it puts there I'm not a big fan of. So I think using this in the future, I will focus just on the areas where I want to cover up a little bit of darkness. Just use the other end of the blender to wipe it off. Next, I'll use the Eye Base Essentials. Basically, this is like a concealer for your eyelid, right, to help the eyeshadow stay on a little better and to cover up if you have any veins or discoloration you'd like to make go away. This is good for that, so we'll add a little bit to the eyelid. That did a wonderful job kind of evening everything out on the eyelids and covering up some of the discoloration that I have. I also don't feel like it added like a layer that might get cakey or weird. It's nice and thin, so I do like using this. I'm getting into using an eyeshadow base more and more lately. Let's get into the next item I bought. I bought the little set that has like the eyeshadow and some of the complexion powder products, so like the powder, the brush, bronzer, highlight. It's pretty cute. It is refillable, but I will warn you, don't take out the little insert unless you mean it. I couldn't get the darn thing back in, so warning. There is an adorable little gold insert around all of the colors. Over here, there's a notch where you can lift out the little guy, so it can kind of come out. Don't do that unless you're actually refilling it because it's so hard to put it back in. I know it was probably hard to tell, but I'm scared to actually pull it out because if you do, you can't get it back in. So as cute as it is without it, I have the little insert, and yeah, I could probably play with this for hours as a puzzle to try to get them all to line up to go back in there. So It looks super cute without it. They're pretty well magnetized, you know, so they're gonna stay in there. They're not gonna float around. What's nice is if you don't like some of these colors, you can just pop it out, put in a color you do like. Nice for travel. And with that warning and PSA, can we take a minute to appreciate how pretty this thing is? It's really lovely and elegant. It's got the nice T for Trish. It is so pretty, and it's got the 2 different levels. So level 1, you have your mirror and the complexion powders. But yeah, so it's pretty sweet. We'll start off with the powder to set the under eye over here, and then we have a nice blush shade, highlighter, and then a very light shade of bronzer. With it being so narrow, I pulled out like all of the narrow brushes I have, so hopefully you have at least a few in your collection. That is one thing about these multi-use palettes, is typically you need a little thinner or smaller brush to get access to the powder. But for travel, it's fine. So we'll pick up some of the plain powder, set the under eye. Next we'll go with the blush. The blush is a little shimmery, so I'm going to start off with just a little bit of blush with like a nice angled one here from Sephora that's pretty narrow, so I can pick up just the blush. It's a nice kind of shimmery, warm, like golden sort of shade, so a nice late summer color. And it's really pretty. Yeah, I really like how that ends up looking. I'm not sure that's like a winter color, but late summer, fall, even spring, quite lovely. All right, we'll save the highlights. We'll skip over that and we'll go straight to the bronze shade. Go in with a Sephora Collection highlight / contour brush because it's a lot smaller than my normal bronze brushes. I love like a big fluffy bronzer brush, but we're gonna have to make do this time and use a more narrow one so I can get the product without getting highlight mixed into my bronze. Not ideal. Doesn't look like it's going to be that pigmented because the blush wasn't as pigmented, so I got a little surprised there. I went a little hard with the powder, so we're trying to blend it out, but it's a nice color. I just went a little hard. All right, whenever I'm desperate, I just pull out the color switch, try to get some of the powder off, and then try to do a little cleanup aisle 6. We're just a little more chiseled, it's fine. With the eyeshadow colors, we are going a little higher glam than I normally do. It's nice for a date night, for going out, so that's kind of the vibe right now. Ooh, the highlight. I can't forget about the highlight. So for that, instead of a fan brush, I have one of my Scott Barnes more narrow brushes to go in and get just the highlight. All about the narrow brushes today. And after the bronzer incident, we're gonna go a little light with the highlight. You can always add more. On top of the already somewhat shimmery blush, yeah, you don't really need a lot. Yeah, it's a very warm golden sort of highlight. It's be lovely for a summer date night. Now for the fun part. Let's play with a little bit of color and get into the eyeshadow section of this palette. So I think we'll start off with the shade, I'm pretty sure it's Dawn. I can never tell when you look at the back of an eyeshadow palette and you flip it over, like what direction the words go. But I think this one's Dawn, so we'll get started with that. We'll put that down, you know, kind of sweeping over the eyelid and up a little bit as like a nice base. I will say I wish the mirror was in this section, so it makes it a little hard when you grab the eyeshadow and you're like, oh, it's all distorted, but it's reflective, but you can't really use it as a mirror. Alright, next let's go in with the shade Fearless, which is a little darker brown. Oh, it's so pretty. This whole palette is just lovely. I'm just going in with Fearless on the actual eyelid itself. Now I'm going to use that same color Fearless with a smudge brush just to kind of go under a little bit to smoke it out a touch. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the shade Tawny right here, and we're going to go more inner corner towards the center. We're going to leave a little bit of room because the purple is going to be the star of the show. I mean, come on. We all know that's where this is going. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Black, just a little, and really blend that in to the outside to deepen up that outer corner. Reminding myself to start slow, you can always add more. Now I'm going to take a clean brush and do a little more blending of the black to get everything nicely blended in. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Da da da! Going in with the purple shade. This shade is called Last Dance. I'll be using my finger to get maximum impact. It's so pretty. It's not quite as intense as I expected, but honestly that makes it a little more wearable. I mean, I'm not quite 16 anymore, so as much as I would like to wear some kind of crazy colored glitter, it's not a festival I'm going to, it is a date, so this is a lovely pop of purple, a little bit of shimmer, really nice. Oh man, where the purple is a little bit over the black shade, it really pops a little more. It's so pretty. Now, maybe I will channel my inner high schooler and go with some dramatic lash. So we've got the purple, the glitter, we've got the drama. Oh man, it's like back to school, end of summer vibes. That does look nice. There is some drama here, but we're gonna amp it up a little more. We're gonna do a second coat. I know, who am I? Second coat of mascara? It really is date night. That was wonderful. I don't always get like a nice second coat with mascara. Sometimes it gets a little clumpy, but this really added volume, it added length without it, you know, kind of turning into a spider leg kind of situation. So we still have a lovely fluffy eyelash, lots of drama, which is important because I forgot, or not forgot, there wasn't an eyeliner included, right? So since we're kind of going Trish McEvoy vibes, I didn't want to pull out something else random. But I thought, you know, let's just go extra mascara. There is a black eyeshadow as well, so if I had remembered like a nice thin eyeliner brush, I probably could have made it work, but I think this works just as nicely. All right, now moving on to lips. The lip kit included a lip liner, a lipstick, and a lip gloss. So let's get started with the Trish McEvoy Long Wear Lip Liner in the shade Barely Nude. For being a pencil lip liner, this is extremely creamy. I wondered why there was another side to this with a brush. Now I know. This is so creamy, it's almost like a lipstick in pencil form. Next up is the lipstick in the shade Knockout. This is another one of those sets where you have like the darker lip liner and the lighter lip shade. It always is a little jarring to me at first. I look and I'm like, oh no, something's wrong. And then like after, I don't know, a minute, I'll look at myself and be like, that looks nice. So I don't know if I just get used to it or if it blends itself nicely or what happens, but yeah, it starts out, I'm a little scared. I don't know about you guys, but it's like, what have I just done? And then you're like, ooh, no, I've done something wonderful. All right, let's go in with the gloss to finish this off. All right, now to top it off with the lip gloss. Just all the packaging is so beautiful from this brand. And the lip gloss is also in the shade Knockout. And the wand itself, it's not really like a doe foot, it's just sort of a straight applicator. I always seem to have a little more trouble using ones like this, so wish me luck. This is why I don't use colored lip gloss. Wait, salvaged. It is nice when you're putting gloss over a red lipstick to have it be more or less the same color, because it's gonna smear on your applicator, right, as you're going through. Impossible to avoid it, so instead of messing up like a nice clear gloss, we've got one that's the exact same shade as the lipstick, so that's kind of nice. So we have our lovely pop of color. We've got some purple on the eyes. It's not so purple though that I feel like the lipstick is a complete clash, so I could walk out of the house like this. But yeah, I did get the kits without necessarily intending to wear everything together, but it's playtime, so we get to try everything together. The eyeshadow is blended beautifully. I always expect high quality and get high quality out of Trish McEvoy. I know it's a bit of a higher price point, but it does always seem to be worth it. I do like the eye lift. I keep trying to call it an eye concealer, but it's an instant eye lift. I do think maybe I would go in with a normal concealer, just because I do feel like it's a little pink under there, which, you know, depending on the day, could be a good thing. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the lipsticks, the lip liner, incredibly creamy, easy to use, loved it. So happy with everything I got. Do you guys have any fabulous finds that you got at the Nordstrom anniversary sale? Please leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to see the next one. And speaking of the next one, I'll see you guys there.